All right, let's jump right in. We're here to talk about a pretty fundamental shift that's happening in high-end hospitality. And look, this isn't about passing trends. Think of this as a strategic briefing on what your guests are going to expect next and really what the new mandate for luxury is. So I want to start with a big question, one that gets right to the heart of this entire transformation. Just think about this for a second. What if the whole game has changed? What if luxury is no longer about the physical property, but about the memory, the feeling that a guest carries with them? That's the core idea we're going to unpack today. Now, before we can really look forward, we have to be on the same page about where we've come from. For generations, forever, luxury has been built on a foundation that was, well, very solid, very tangible. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? For decades, it was all about these undisputed markers, a prestigious address, an absolutely imposing facade, and of course, that incredible room with the view. These were the assets that screamed five-star. And hey, they were dependable, you could measure them, it was the playbook for luxury. But that playbook, it's starting to change. And here's the thing, this isn't some loud, disruptive revolution. It's happening quietly. It's an almost imperceptible shift. We're seeing this subtle pivot away from the physical and deep into the emotional, away from place and toward feeling. This quote just nails it. The anchor point for luxury isn't a zip code anymore. It's the emotional resonance, the echo of the experience. Think about it. The most valuable real estate out there has become the feeling a guest carries with them long after they check out. So let's break this down. Here's the pivot laid bare. On one side, you have the old paradigm: place, structure, service. These are all things that a brand provides. But look at the new paradigm: feeling, sensation, flow. This is what a guest actually experiences. The entire language is shifting from tangible assets to intangible emotions. And make no mistake, this is the new competitive landscape. Okay, so if this is the new terrain, how on earth do you navigate it? Well, we've broken this entire transformation down into a four-part framework. It's really a map to help guide you on this journey from focusing on place to truly mastering the emotional experience. This is the whole foundation of our Beyond the Stay series. This journey really rests on four key pillars. First, we have to redefine the very idea of a hotel. Then, we have to embrace what we're calling the death of the amenity list. Getting away from a simple checklist and into the architecture of an actual experience. The third pillar is all about engineering a seamless stay, where every bit of friction is just gone. And all of this leads to that final destination, the return of feeling, making emotion the ultimate measure of true luxury. Now, all four of these pillars are holding up one central, incredibly powerful idea about where this industry is heading. And if you're a leader in the space, this is the core insight you need to grab onto. The future of hospitality, it isn't going to be found in concrete or steel or the most expensive marble. It's not something you can just construct from a blueprint. It is felt. That's it. That's the crucial point. The value is no longer in the structure, but in the sensation. Honestly, your brand's future will be decided by how well you can evoke and manage emotion. So let's be clear about our terms. Sensation. You can think of it as the new currency of luxury. It's this powerful, intangible asset that completely ignores check-in and check-out times. It's that anticipation your guest has before they even arrive. And it's that resonance, that memory, that stays with them for months, maybe even years. That is your new return on investment. And all of this brings us to a final, really crucial thought for every brand leader, every strategist, and every manager tuning in right now. You see, this evolution isn't about adding more services or more amenities to a list. It's about the lasting emotional imprint. The real innovation, the true genius, lies in the residue, in the afterglow of the experience. So I'll leave you with this question. As you plan your next quarter, or design your next property, or just think about your next guest interaction, this is the single most important strategic question you can ask. Beyond the stay, beyond the service, what is the feeling you are intentionally, deliberately leaving behind? Because that answer, that is going to define your future. All right, let's jump right in.